So, Aubrey, today is the 25th day of the Lent. What do we call that? Can you say Mid-Lent? Mid-Lent. And on this day, we have Kurbana, which is why we had Kurbana last night. And what do? Do we put something in the church? What do we put in the middle of the church?
A little stand that...
What is that stand called? Golgotha. The Golgotha. And what's on top of the stand?
A cross.
A cross. So there's a story in the book of Numbers, chapter 21, where the Israelites are really frustrated in the wilderness, and they're discouraged and they're upset, and they start getting mad with God and with Moses. And they start complaining. And so what does God do? Do you know?
He put snakes to bite them.
He put snakes to bite them, these poisonous snakes. And they bite them and they die. And they go back to Moses and they say, we have sinned. We spoke against God. We spoke against you. And Moses prays to God for the people. And what does God tell Moses to do?
Build a metal statue snake.
A metal snake made of copper or bronze in some translations. But this stand, and then if he makes this bronze snake, Moses does, and puts it up and what happens?
When they look at it, they got healed.
When they look at it, they got healed. And so what does that symbolize for us today?
A little stand.
The Golgotha, which has on the top of it what?
A cross.
A cross. And so the serpent of that time, they looked at it and got healed. The same way, we look at the cross and we can be healed.
Yay.
And was there a serpent that bit somebody in a garden? Adam and Eve? Remember they were talking to a serpent?
Yeah.
And then when that serpent deceived Adam and Eve, they had died.
Because he told them to eat the fruit, and then God said, who told you to do that? Then they said Satan, and they needed to die.
And they died after that. But through the cross, we live.
Yeah.
And that's what, if we read, it ends with John chapter 3. A very, very famous verse was read in the gospel during Kurbana yesterday. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life. But if you actually go a couple of verses before that, it says, no one has ascended to heaven but he who came down from heaven, that is the Son of Man who is in heaven. And verse 14 says, and as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so must the Son of Man be lifted up, that whoever believes in him should not perish, but have eternal life. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish, but have everlasting life.